nunc redemptor Domine, te fan salutis Trinitas, benedictus qui venit.
Over the next couple of months, Dynamite Baits will be bringing you some sessional socials with the team. You join us down on the southern syndicate water, and before I arrived, the boys were already into some action. Just take a look at this.
Happy holidays. Got down here an hour before Jace and Dash, found a few fish. They were all high up on the water, put some floaters out, and they started having them. 20 pounder to start with. Whilst I was reeling that one in, it weeded me up, kept the floaters going out, netted that one, got the rod straight back out there, and had this, the second pound. One I've not caught, the football common at £41.10. My PB off the top, surface fishing, and I'm over the moon. Welcome to Dynamite Social. Happy days. Right, as you can tell, I'm in a bit of a rush. I've been down in the corner. I've had a couple. I've had a 20 and a 41.10 common off the top. I'm just showing you the mix and what I'm up to and how I'm catching these fish. I've got the expander pellets, 11mm, and what I'm doing, I'm giving them a good covering of the citrus oil, the smoked salmon oil all over. Get your hands in there, get involved. Good mix up. The same again, just another covering. All over the pellets, all in the bucket. Good mix up. As you can see, by the time I get round there, they would have soaked in all that oil and they're ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm absolutely charged up. I've had a PB off the top. Fish is still absolutely having it, and I've got to get round there, so let's go.
Richie didn't have any more that day, so he decided to head back round to Ash to get his rods out for the night.
You get enough bait out. Really nice there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit on 2 spots. Unless I really need to move, I'll do it on the last night.
So you're fishing spots you know, Ash?
I fish this swim quite a lot, so I know like the main spots in there, but I always have a quick lead over the spots and pull back closer to the weed, so I'm fishing just over the weed as such. I was trying to get quicker bites fishing close to the weed rather than out on the main spot. They're a lot safer in the weed. And with the particle, they just love rubbing in and outside the weed, a bit in the weed, a bit just outside of it.
Most people probably think the line lay's not that great.
I tend to fish about half a rod length over it, keep my rod up while sinking the line to get the first rod length as such right down on the deck. I'm fishing them really clear, so I've got a longest sort of leg core leader to the end of the weed bed, and then fluorocarbon slack coming up over the weed bed, not too tight, so if any fish are feeding in and around the spot and they do touch the line, it moves around more freely and not tight, so they don't feel resistance to spook away as much as such. That's sort of my way of looking at it. Seems to do me well fishing over weeds. Some people don't like fishing too slack because it can sink down into the weed beds, but I always seem to pull them out and get them in quite well. So yeah, I always fish tight to the weed rather than right out in the centre of the spot. Lovely bite and rod bite, first thing in the morning. Right for sunrise, gonna be a lovely hot day today. Bit of surface fishing in a few hours, I reckon. But at the moment, Mooney's got one on. Here's Rich. Are you buzzing, Mooney? Cameraman?
He's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Classic cameraman incident though. It's worried about getting footage for everyone else.
At the moment, Ash Bailey is the new director. I've taken over. Beautiful, isn't it? I've got one in the burner over there, Rich.
I just see your story, mate.
Lost one as well.
Scroll through. I heard you recasting.
Oh, mate, it was a nightmare.
You got a nice one.
Nice scaly little one, yeah.
Ideal. Nice one.
One in the burner, Mooney. First morning kicked off with this lovely £21 mirror. Richie had a couple off the top yesterday, so it's nice to get one back. Got Pete and Rob coming down today. Should be down later this afternoon. Going to try and prime a few spots ready for them to catch one or two, hopefully. Which will be good. Haven't met them yet, so it'll be a really nice first trip with them. Right, just about to slip this one back, returning to her home. We're going to stick the kettle on, sit the bottom rods out for another hour or two, and go prime some surface spots ready for when the boys get down. They're absolutely buzzing.
How long are we going to give it?
Well, I think it's worth just doing what we're doing, and then in an hour, walk around, somebody take a walk around, just see if you can find a group. Just do that, isn't it?
Yeah, see if there's any milling around on the top, have a good look around, find a few, try and get them feeding a bit confident before we go chopping rigs on them, and then we can go from there. Hopefully should nail a couple off the top, just waiting for it to get a little bit warmer. I think it's still quite good for a bite on the bottom at the moment, don't we, Rich?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it does look good for it on the bottom. There's no signs anywhere else making me want to reel the rods in off the spot and go chasing them elsewhere.
So we just leave the bottom rods out until we see any good signs to have a go on the surface, or even get some zigs out or something.
Catch some 40 pounders on some zigs. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
£40 off the bottom, £40 on the zig, and £40 on the surface.
Oh, wouldn't that be good? Thing for me, Jace, is when I'm floater fishing, I got to be in the water. I got to be right down with them, because if you're not, and the birds and the gulls and all that, the ducks, they see you on the bank, they kill you. That's your floater finish. Like, gone. No chance. If you're in the water, they just leave you alone. So definitely for me, floater fishing is all about being in the water, keeping the wildlife away as much as you can, and just giving yourself every chance you can, and it's worked. So,
Gosh.
happy days. Scaly banger, caught off the top, the one you've seen in the video. Proof of getting your bait right
getting them floaters covered in all them oils, finding the fish, 10 minutes feeding them, 5 minutes fishing. Happy days. Thank you very much.
After being stuck on the M25 for a couple of hours. Come on, I want to get fishing! Come on! And getting numerous texts from the guys that the fish are on top. I couldn't wait to get down to the lake and have a go. Just shouting loads of them. I'm trying to tie a rig! Loads of them. It's just a really simple Palomar knot that I've got on there. Then I just pass it back through the eye of the hook, so the hook is actually kicking out a little bit. And when you look at it in the water, the hook is sitting directly underneath the bait. The hook is sitting directly underneath it like that. And often you get the fish that just go up to lip it, and then you nail them that way as well, you know. Couldn't resist getting the rod out as soon as I got here. Been stuck on the M25 for 2 hours today. Scorching sun. Kept thinking they've got to be on top, they've got to be on top. And the guys are phoning saying they haven't fished, so got down there and a few fish packed man in. The guys, to be fair, have got them going. And I'm in my element floater fishing, absolutely love it. And what a contrast to be out by the side of the lake after being stuck on the M25 and hopefully catching a cracking carp. It's good to get one in the bag, though, isn't it? It is like, it's like a real confidence thing. It's just like,
This is what I wanted.
I mean, you guys being very generous. It's being laid on the plate. I was just saying that up there, that you got like, I've got 8 pairs of 8 eyes at the minute, looking at the water going, they're taking there, they're doing that.
It's good fish too, Pete. It's very good fish. You want to miss it, mate?
No, you're
Really?
fine. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
To get set in, isn't it?
I've got a spicy shrimp and prawn top up on there that's been soaked in spicy shrimp and prawn liquid for about 6 months. I've actually done it sort of through the winter period in anticipation for days like this, so they're highly dosed up. And the reason for doing that, I love the visual. I love the visual of a spicy shrimp and prawn pop up because they match the expander pellets that we're fishing over. But somebody said to me once, who was a koi farmer, we were sitting around the pond, and he was saying, if you watch the fish, and he said watch them really closely, and you'll notice that every single fish feeds different. Some come bolt upright on the bait, some hit the bait from the side, some feed through taste, some feed through sight. So I'm just trying to cover every option. If you get a fish come in that's maybe not got great eyesight, or you've got slightly coloured water, if you can fish with something that they can taste in the water, then you're just giving yourself an extra chance. It's starting to feel quite heavy, this fish.
Feels good.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lot of good ones in here, mate.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a little bit freaked out by it, if I'm honest with you. got fish number 2. Absolutely cracking mirror. Gave me an awesome fight, this one. And I had these 2 quick concession. What I done was set the other net up, left the big common in the net, got the rod back out there as quick as I could, and this was the result. Worth all the driving today, worth all the sitting in traffic jams, to sit here on a lovely spring day and catching fish like this off the top. Great result. Right, I'm going to slip this one back and let's have a look at the great big common that I've got in the net. I'm interested to see how big it was. Might be a PB. PB off the top is 36, and we'll have a look.
That's the best bit in it.
Fantastic.
Happy days, Pete.
Yeah, brace of fantastic fish here.
Yeah, 2 for Pete, 1 for me. Pete kindly handed me his rod whilst doing pictures of his first one. This mirror slipped up. We thought we'd have a brace shot.
As you were saying when I shook your hand, and that was teamwork, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Come out for a few hours float fishing like that and help each other out. One's playing the fish in, the other one's baiting up.
Keeping the bait going in.
And you've got 2 fantastic fish like this.
Absolute stunners.
All right, let's get these
Ash
back.
is just shouted over, he's banked one. We're going to get these beauties back.
Yeah, and then sort out what we're going to do for the
Yeah,
night as
the
well.
night, get over the other side where it's doing night bites, and hopefully have a couple over there.
Brilliant stuff.
Days. Mwah. Lovely.
First cast, and I've got a fish known as a thick-skinned in the net. Nice 30 pounder, normally around 32, 33, I haven't weighed it yet. In the rush to get the rod back out to try and have a couple more off the top. Happy days, absolutely over the moon.
I think this could be a busy few days. Keep well hydrated and just keep fishing. It's definitely cooling down now though, so might get a few takes on the bottom.
I've been busy at work all day and arrived in the evening, so it was a case of just getting the rods out as quickly as possible before it got dark. I've not seen this place before, so it's important to try and get it right. I've got 36 hours to catch a carp, so every moment counted.
Hey. Morning, Richie. How's that head of yours? I woke up with banging head. What a night. Boomerang!
Just setting up for day 2, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, just getting everything ready. If they do come up on the top, then I'm going to be ready for them. It's a little bit overcast this morning, but it does look prime. It really does. Quiet night last night though, there weren't many fish showing. And then Ash had the perfect run this morning where it was like did, and everyone was up. But yeah, quiet in front of me. But we shall try.
I love corners like this, particularly when you get in the water, just have a look around that corner, because it is the carpiest thing in the whole world ever to do this sort of thing. I mean, a pair of chest waders, clear gravel pit, nice margin. It's carpy, isn't it? But there's more to it than that. For a start, just look around. Scum all over the surface. Everything's drifting this way at the moment. There's a light breeze coming in. The sun is over there, which means that this tree line is in shade, which means hopefully there's a bite chance. And with scum on the surface, and more potential food down here, this could be a great opportunity for trying to catch one. So I'm going to keep it really simple and go to one of my favourite go-to methods, and that is just using big old stinky sticks and just a very simple, straightforward, small pop-up. You don't get a lot simpler than this. It's really easy fishing as well. And I hook the bait on, and I hook it that way because I want to slow sink through the water. And then I'm just going to pop a foamy on. 2 reasons. Number 1, it'll just stop this bait spinning in flight and catching up on the hook because it is such a small one. And number 2, it'll act as a little sighter, so if I want to go around there I can put some bait in over the top of it. I'm just going to step ever so slightly. In my keenness to cast out down there, I've got to be careful of this tree. Behind's not too bad, but up there's just a bit risky, so I'll have to cast over the left shoulder. Now, I have already had a couple of casts just to find the spot out there, and it's at 9.5 wraps. So I'm wrapped up nicely, and there's a spindly tree, and I'm going to aim just to the left of that, and if this goes in well, it should go down nicely on the deck. So off it goes, and that is absolutely cock on. You notice when I cast out, I just let it hit the clip just as it's dropping into the water and then pulled it back slightly, and that's to make sure everything's straightened out, and then I'm holding the rod high just to feel it down because I'm feeling for a donk. And the reason I'm feeling for a donk is that there's a load of weed out there and there's a small clear spot, and that landed on it absolutely perfectly. So that's one rod sorted. Right, bucket lid behind. Just keep the zig nice and tidy, and that's going to go over there, hit the clip, and come down smack bang by that weed bed. That is lovely. That is another one, more or less exactly where I want it. That's going to be sitting in that gully there, just by the side of that weed. And this is where, when you're looking at line lay, a lot of people get it wrong actually. What they do is they cast out, and the lead lands and hits the deck. And then what they do at this end is they sink the tip and try and pull it together, but one end's low, the other end's low, and then there's a bow in the middle which will sit higher over any weed beds. The best thing to do is lay it down by keeping the rod high, letting it sink from that end coming back towards you, and then eventually tightening up. And then what it means is it will go tight to the first obstacle. All right, that's 2 fishing. The third rod, I'm looking for a bog standard open water spot directly in front of the swim that I can put a load of bait in. I reckon these fish want feeding. So where on earth do I find one of them? Well, you know what, the best thing to do when you stand in a peg that's clearly well used is look at the far side and find the biggest tree line feature. And there's a big high tree with a drop off there. And you know what, a lot of people fish at 20 wraps. Why? Because it's nice and easy. So easy to remember, easy to get to. So I've bobbed the marker float out there, I found a load of weed, and then I've gone to that 20 wrap spot straight out, and it's a little bit clearer. So that is absolutely perfect, and I'm just having a quick flick around with the lead just to make sure that it lands all right. It does, I'm happy. So that's going to be the spot, and that, my friends, is having it. Right, I'm going to put together a spod mix now, and it is really simple. All the ingredients are ready made for you, so it's a piece of cake. And I'm starting off with a nice and simple particle mix. This is particles and pulses, and it's the sweet cloudy one. Brilliant starter, smells absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going to add a few maggots to this now, just because I've got some left over. So Gordon Ramsay style, stick them in, give it a good shake round, and we've got a bit of life in there as well. I've already put some corn in, but you can't beat this stuff, the old golden grains. Every single carp that swims loves sweet corn. The colour of it is magnificent, and at this time of year, through the course of the summer, it's brilliant because it's very easy to digest. So bang all that in there. Then the next thing that carp love is the old hemp seed. Frenzied hemp, just a winner. Particles, corn, hemp, just sounds like a recipe for success, but this one's got a bit of a twist. This has got some natural in it as well. This has got snails in it, and they're cute little critters, these as well. They've been deshelled, and the hemp is really, really well cooked. So pile that into 1 tin of each, and it just makes it nice and easy to do. So bit of a stir round, and now we've got a very easy and straightforward particle mix. Lovely. However, there's a few little edges that we can put into this now. Edge number 1, this stuff. Now, Amino black ground bait is absolutely brilliant. The match anglers keep it really, really secret. To be honest, us carp anglers in the know keep it really secret too. And what it does is it clouds the water up beautifully. So a good helping of that, it's pitch black, and it will take flavour really well. So you can see there, it will start to stodge this mix up a little bit. So just give that a bit of a stir around too. And it changes the dynamic straight away, because it went from being really bright and lovely looking to a bit yucky now. However, as soon as that gets in the water, that's just going to cloud up, and it will put food at all sorts of layers. So we've got grub on the bottom, we've got small bits falling down, we've got cloud mix up in the water. What else do we need? We need some liquid. And now the water's warm, this is one of my favourites. This is the smoked salmon oil, and it wants a really good liberal dose of that. And that will stick to that amino ground bait. Bit more of a stir up, just get it all mixed in there. And then I almost leave it to cook for a while. And then the last thing that we need to add is a good old bit of grub on the bottom. And there's no surprise, it's complex tea. One of the best boilies around. If it's good enough for old Tellboy, and look at how many Mr. Hearn catches, then it's good enough for me. So I'm going to put a few of them in, and I'll crush some up too. So you can disappear and have a look at what this looks like in the water while I just crush a few more of these up. And believe me, if you want a good mix, this is the one for you.
So I've spent a day floater fishing, chasing the fish on the top and chasing them around the margins. The light level's just starting to drop a little bit, so I've come round to this little point. I'm fishing on the other side over there and casting across to this tree line. So I've come round to bait up. But in this bucket, I've got some bait in there, some tiger nut boilers that have been soaking for 3 days now. I've just got a little bit of water from the ponds in my garden, put them in, put the new tiger nut liquid in as well, just a little bit of that so that gets sucked up into the bait. A lot of people use or think they're going to be using washed out baits for the wary carp and stuff like that. I'm not so much concerned about that aspect of it. I'm doing it because I use bottom baits on the rig a lot, and when I reel them in I notice that it's really sort of stinking of the lake's bottom, smell a bit eggy, you know. So I tend to do it to sort of infuse the bait already with the moisture so that it's not sucking it up off the bottom, and then you've got some nice attractive bait sitting there ready for the fish to come in. Hopefully we'll get something tonight off these babies that have been soaking for 3 days.
Plans come together, and in the early hours of this morning this absolute cracker came to pay me a visit, and it came off the margin spot, the one out in the middle of the pond. That produced quite a few tench. Did see a carp roll over the top of it, but the carp came from the nice little close-in margin spot down there. And this, believe it or not, is the 11th different lake that I've fished this year, the 11th one that I've caught from as well. So it just goes to show that if you get your bait and tactics right, it really does come up trumps.
what a way to end. 32 pound common, lovely and dark, on a spot nice and close in, one rod spot. I fished through the winter. Again, it's produced another 30 pounder. Source pop up, same mix as I've been using all winter, and what a way to end a great few days. Over the moon.
Well, the session on the Southern Syndicate Lake has now finished, and we hope you've enjoyed seeing it as much as we've enjoyed doing it. Pete, you've had a bit of a charge round?
Yes, really enjoyed that yesterday. I blanked yesterday, but I had great fun getting a fish feeding on the top, seeing them in the margins, learning from my mistakes, and you've had one this morning as well, right?
Absolutely, Ash, catching them too, and also highlights seeing them underwater as well.
Yeah, lovely. We've had a couple of good ones feeding in the margins this morning, a couple of foot of water, got some GoPro footage, so it's going to be good.
So, highlight of the trip?
Highlight for me was catching my PB off the top, football common at 41.10, and obviously fishing with yourself and Pete.
Blimey, 41.10, that knocks us out the equation any single day of the week, doesn't it, mate?
I've been fishing since I was a little kid. I've never had a 40 off the top.
Absolutely.
They said to me on the phone, I was like, awesome fish, awesome.
Well, you know, what can we say? That's it from us. We'll see you next time.